Hey, welcome everybody to the Daily Mastermind. I'm Paul Baxter. I am the implementation coach for the Mortgage Mastermind Group, and I am definitely here to help you grow. So guys, girls, what today's class is all about is the changes that Facebook's made to its ads recently, just in the last couple of weeks. For those of you that are doing ads, you may have noticed when you logged in to look at the insights and look at some of the reports, you were prompted that some of the ads have changed, and by clicking this button you can convert this current ad to the new system. All it is it's streamlined the way that you create your ads a little bit, and it's also made a couple of changes on the inside where we use custom audiences, specifically website custom audiences. There's been a couple of minor changes made to that as well, and I'm going to walk you through those changes today. I loved this little graphic here. It made me chuckle. It has nothing to do with today's class, but it made me laugh. It's a nice Thanksgiving Day joke, and what it is, it's a turkey standing on stilts, and he's got a mask over his face that makes him look like a crane. He's got a point. Nobody eats a flamingo on Thanksgiving. So I thought that was very cute and fun little joke for Thanksgiving Day today. It just made me chuckle. Again, nothing to do with today's class, but it certainly made me chuckle. All right, so navigation to the Ads Manager and much of the Ads Manager functions have remained the same. It hasn't changed much. The reports and tracking insights, that hasn't changed in any way, shape, or form. Navigating to Ads Manager, you've got a couple of ways that you can still do it. You go to facebook.com/ads/manage. That's going to take you right into it, whether you've done ads before or not. If you've done ads or if you frequent the Ads Manager, it's going to be added under here under your favorites. You can simply navigate to that. I didn't show the third way, which is if you drop down your menu over by your settings, your account menu, there's going to be an Ad Manager link under there if you have done an ad before. So again, navigating to it, and most of the Ads Manager, especially the first view that you get, the insights and reporting and things like that, that hasn't changed at all. That still looks the same. The things that we're going to focus, there are two areas that we use that have changed, and the changes are only in how they look, not in how they perform. Okay, and so those changes are to the custom audiences and the ad creator itself. So the first thing that we're going to focus on is the ad creator. And so we're going to talk about the new stuff. The first thing you need to know when you click on Create Ads, the menu that first pops up is obviously a little bit different. The verbiage is even different. It used to say Get Page Likes and things like that. So now it says Promote Your Page. That's one of the ad sets that we'll use. Boost Your Post, that's an ad set that I use quite a bit. We've talked about that on our classes. That's still available to you. And then instead of website ad, send people to your website is the verbiage that they use now. So again, the functionality has not changed, just a little bit of the overall look and some of the verbiage and vernacular that they use here. Now, from this step, once you choose to promote your page, and that's what I'm going to use for this example, each one, the functionality is pretty much the same, so you'll get the gist of what the changes are here. So when I clicked on Promote Your Page, what it asked me to do is to choose the page that I want to promote. So for the demo purposes, again, promote your page, and we're going to use Mortgage Mastermind Group. When I selected that, the new stuff is, notice that now I can name my campaign right off the bat here. I don't have to wait to get back to the Ads Manager to name my campaign. I can name it right off the bat. If you plan on using Facebook ads, get in the habit of naming your campaigns something specific that will remind you of what that specific campaign's about, because it's very important when you're looking at the insights and at the reports. You want to be able to quickly glance at what that campaign is all about so that you know what these numbers are representative of which ad that you're running. Okay, you don't just leave it on the default stuff. Now, if you selected the wrong page, you can always click the back button, and that will take you back to the pages, and you can choose the right page that you want to do this. And the thing that I want you to notice here, guys, is it used to be once you've selected your page, you had the part began with how to, setting up the ad itself. They've changed the order in which you're creating. So step one is to create your campaign. So you're creating your campaign for this page. Step two is to create your ad set. Okay? The first thing they want to know is who do you want your ads to reach? Not set up the image or put the text in. The first thing they want you to do is focus on who is your ad going to reach. This is your target area, right? And so you've got your custom audiences available to you. You've got your locations, your ages. You can do a gender-specific ad if you're a Spanish speaker and you've got an ad going specifically to Spanish speakers. You can do that. You've got your more demographics with things like, household composition and, baby boomers and do they own or do they rent, all those different things. You've got their interests and you've got behaviors and things like that to choose from. You've got all of the demographics that you're used to. The only difference is that they've put it in a different place. So when you go there, the only change that's really been made is the order in which you set your ad up. It's asking you to set up your audience first. Once you've set up your audience, and on this example is for like a niche product like a reverse mortgage. So I would set up my audience to be within Palm Harbor, a 50-mile radius. And then I only want people that are in that age group that's going to make sense for me, 63 to 65, right? And then I went into the more demographics and I selected home ownership. I want both renters and homeowners because I have a solution with reverse mortgage for both of those different groups. For homeowners, we can do a refinance with a reverse mortgage. For renters, we can do a purchase for a reverse purchase. So I do have a solution for both those groups. In the generation, under more demographics, I added a generation and I selected baby boomers. There are, I think the statistic was 10,000 baby boomers in the United States that reach retirement age and are eligible for a reverse mortgage every single day in our country. That's a fantastic statistic to have. And notice as I went through this, it's not giving me a number here just yet because I haven't added any demographics to it. I was hoping to show a number where it went from whatever it was with no demographics to once I've added my local area, my age, my renters, homeowners, baby boomers, 68,000 people fit within my demographic that I've selected, which are people who live within 50 miles of Palm Harbor. Their age is 63 to over 65. 63 and up is basically what I've selected there. Their home ownership status is that they're homeowners or renters and they're baby boomers. And they're not connected currently to my page. 68,000 people. That's going to be a pretty good ad. That's going to be an ad set that I'm truly targeting the right audience with my marketing. The next step it asks you to do is how much do you want to spend? So we haven't even created the ad yet. What we've done is selected the page. We've selected our audience. We're going to determine how much we're going to spend on this particular ad. You can do as little as $5 a day. You can do on up from there. Bidding is optimized for clicks. Now you can manually bid, but I have found with the defaults with Facebook, they're pretty doggone right on. They typically charge you less than what you would manually bid for, and they're looking to get paid. That's how Facebook makes their money, is by getting paid on clicks, and they have investors to answer to these days. They want to get clicks on your ad, and they will show it to the right demographic to do so repetitively. And so I recommend just leave it on that. There's not, if you really feel like playing with those a little bit and see what kind of results give you better results, by all means do so. But leaving it on default is going to be okay. And then ad set name, again, give it a name that's going to differentiate this ad from other ads. You may run the same campaign and create multiple ads on the same campaign that have different images in them to see which ones pull best. So make sure that you're differentiating each ad that you create. Okay, once you've finished setting up how much you're going to spend, so again, so far we've simply selected the page we're going to do our ad for, we've selected the demographic we're targeting that ad to, how much money we're going to spend on this ad, and now we can begin to create the actual ad copy itself. That's the last step. The intent of this is to allow you to create a more direct message to your target audience. They want you to focus on the audience first and then work on your actual advertisement to speak directly to your audience, right? Isn't that what we've already been doing since we've been doing Facebook ads? This way just helps you along the course a little bit. It's a better, in my personal opinion, it is a better flow for creating the Facebook ads than the older system. It just flows a little bit better, okay, in my personal opinion. So the next step is you're going to create the actual ad, and the first part of that is to select the image you want to use. Here's a little ninja trick. If you go, you can upload an image if you want, but if you go to Browse Library, that's going to take you into your images. You've got uploaded image. You can upload an image. You can go to your image library, or you can select stock images. If you select stock images, these are powered by Shutterfly, but these are approved already. These are no copyright issues, things like that. These are available for you to use in your ad copy without having to concern yourself about getting a letter that you owe $800 to Getty Images for the use of their image. You don't have to worry about that stuff when using the stock images. So I put in baby boomers. I've got, for those of you who know me, I live in Palm Harbor, Florida area, which is literally the Gulf Coast. Clearwater is within that 50-mile radius. St. Petersburg, Florida is in that 50-mile radius, some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So I put seniors, happy seniors on a beach. It makes sense for my area, right? So if I'm in, I don't know, California, I may use that same doggone image. If I'm sitting in beautiful Orange County, California, I may use that same image of happy seniors on the beach. It paints a vivid image for them. You know, so using those stock image for baby boomers for my reverse mortgage ad, I've got a great image. I click done, and that image is added. So that's the ninja trick. Instead of, you know, if I was to use an infographic, that'd be fine. But they've got stock images that can really add a nice, you know, a really professional look to your ads. The next step is to create your text and your headline. Now you have to remember, this is super important. Play with different words, word combinations, but you have to be able to get your message across very short and very sweet. And so the focus of your text needs to be, what is the benefit? What is the benefit to the person if they click? What is the benefit? And so for this one, my text is keeping it within the 90-character limitations that we're allowed. Again, that's the important part. That's the thing that you have to recall, is that your text is limited by the number of characters that they're going to allow you to have on your advertisement. That maximum number of characters for the text is 90. And trust me, it sounds like 90, it sounds like a lot of characters. Start typing out and count the characters. You will be surprised how quickly 90 characters goes by. And so it's important. You've got to make sure that you're focused on the benefit and delivering that benefit to the person you want to click your ad as quickly and efficiently as possible. Make it short and sweet. 90 characters. So for a reverse mortgage, I would say something like, you've heard all of the myths about reverse mortgage. Click here for the truth. And believe me, I tried lots of different combinations of this as I was setting up for today's class. You'll notice I still have 8 characters available to me. This sounds better even though I still have a little more room than if, and I tried elaborating on it in different combinations, and I had a whole different thing. I don't even remember what I had originally put in there. But as far as the number of characters, as far as the enticement and delivering the benefit to entice them to they want that benefit more than anything, that's what I came up with. And feel free to swipe and use that for those of you who are going to be offering a niche, going to be doing Facebook ads that are focused on reverse mortgages. Feel free to use that. You have heard all the myths about reverse mortgages. Click here for the truth. And then the headline. Headline, again, is very important. Now, by default, the headline is going to be the name of the page that you're using for the ad itself. So for mine, the default name was Mortgage Mastermind Group was the headline. That didn't make sense for running a reverse mortgage ad to seniors. And so what I needed to do, again, I'm limited by the number of characters that I can use, and so for my headline I changed it up to Reverse Mortgage Truth. It kind of tells what my ad is about, especially, and it supports my text a little bit by saying that you've heard all the myths about reverse mortgages, click here for the truth, and then I'm saying in my headline, Reverse Mortgage Truth. Okay? So important to remember, the key thing here is not what I've said here. Two key things about this. Number one, you've only got 90 characters to work with in your text. Number two, make sure that in your 90 characters you are focused on the benefit to entice them to click. Now, the little side note on this page is if you have created a landing page on a tab, that's a whole other class. We've talked about it several times, and things have changed with that a little bit as well, but you still can create usable tabs. And if you've created one that has your landing page about or your info about reverse mortgages on a tab, by all means, you can change that landing view from timeline to any of the tabs or applications that you've added to your fan page. If you have questions about that, I'm glad to show it to you. Let's cover that on Monday or Wednesday of next week. We can go into that in depth on how to create those tabs if you have questions on that. We have covered it in the past on the Daily Mastermind. But they've changed it a little bit, so we may need to dive into that a little bit further moving forward. All right, and then the next step, once you've done that, so the 3 steps are literally choose your page, your demographics and pricing, and then set your ad up. That's the 3 steps. Once you've done those things, you can review order or place order. This is what it looks like when you're reviewing. So I've got a cool ad. I would have changed the name, obviously, to something, reverse mortgage advertisement or reverse mortgage ad or something like that. My audience is people who live within 50 miles of Palm Harbor, Florida. They're 63 to over. And they're homeowners or renters, and they're baby boomers, and they're not connected yet with my page. That's my demographic. As you saw, I got 68,000 of those people within 50 miles of my little area here. That's a good quality group. Here's exactly how much I'm going to pay per day on this ad. I'm not going to spend more than $5 a day, so once I get that number of clicks, optimize for cost, click. We're looking for clicks, and I'm going to pay up to $5 a day. This ad campaign will run indefinitely, so I'll run that until I turn it off and then place order. And that's all there is to the changes that were made with Facebook ads. Again, the main thing is the order. First and foremost is the description that they give to the different types of ads that you can run. Again, promote your page is the same thing as get page likes. Send people to your website is the same thing as website clicks. Boost your post, that's a promote a page post. That's what it used to be called there. So it's just a semantical thing. They just changed the name, not the actual functionality. And then the other thing they changed in ads is the order in which you set up your ad. They want you to start with your audience. They want you to start with the demographics, then tell them how much you want to spend, and then create your ad to make sense, to be a better directed message to that audience that you've already created. So it's a better, more streamlined way of setting up the ad process for you. It makes it a little bit easier, in my personal opinion, to go through the flow of it. Who am I going to, what's my target audience? How much do I want to spend? Here's what I'm going to say to that target audience, okay? based on the type of ad you're running. So that's it. The other change that they made that is something that we use is inside the audiences section. And the main thing, as you can see, when you go to audiences from the ad manager, it looks very, very different than it used to look. It's you could click on the actual audience. The only thing that has changed is the look and navigation of this page. And so that's what I want to focus on with you guys is how do you actually navigate this page now. You'll notice that from here I can add filters or I can customize the columns that I see, but I can't create an ad or do any actions because I haven't yet selected any of the custom audiences from my list. So in order to do an action on any audience, you've got to select that audience. Now, that does mean that you can do bulk actions. If you've got multiple custom website audiences and you want to do a bulk action for all of them, you can certainly do that. The action button, once you've selected one of your audiences, the Create Ad and Actions button now shows up. So what I can do from here is if I want to do a brand new ad for my website visitor audience, I can select this button and I can click Create an Ad right from here, and that takes me into what kind of ad do I want to do. Do I want to promote my page to those people, or do I want to get them to click to my website? What do I want to do? Website conversions and everything else. Website conversions is an added dimension that we haven't really discussed much about. We can get into that at another time. What it allows you to do is there's an additional pixel with a conversion ad that allows you to really track the number of conversions that came directly from that specific ad because it gives them a cookie that identifies them. Whole other class, whole other topic. The other thing that you can do from here is any of the actions that are available for you to do to this audience are now available, and it's in the form of a drop-down menu. So the action options for a website audience, notice that's a website audience I've got selected, are create lookalike, so you can create an audience of people based on the demographics of the people that are currently on that list. Facebook will go through and look for common demographics of people. Really, really good idea if you're doing consumer direct type ads and you're using the Facebook custom website custom audiences, and you've got the pixel on there. As your list grows and grows, start creating lookalike audiences of those people, because those are consumer direct ads, and those people are going to have a demographic that can find you other people within that area that fit that mold. You know, based on the demographics that you've got in that audience, they can fit that mold and really help you find customers that maybe weren't on your radar before, based on the demographics. You can view the pixel, and we're going to get into that in depth in just a couple of more slides here. You can edit this audience or you can delete this audience. So those are the options for a custom website audience. The options for a list audience, so if it's one that's just an uploaded audience instead of a custom website audience, your options are create a lookalike audience. I don't have a pixel for that because that's uploaded list. I can edit that list or I can delete. Now, if I choose to edit an existing custom audience, the edit options, I can edit the name, I can add people or remove people via email address or user ID if I've got them, if I've obtained them by the correct way through Facebook Custom Audience Terms of Use. I can add them to that list. One of the cool things that I noticed about this, and this is very new, I noticed this while I was creating this slide, how do you want to add the customers? Typically we used upload a file and it needed to be a CSV file. They now have an option that says copy and paste. I clicked on it, and yes, it is as simple as copy a list of email addresses from a list you've got. It gives you a big empty box right here. You right-click and you paste them into that box, and those emails will be added to your custom audience. So instead of just uploading a file and having to convert it to a CSV file and all that extra junk, you can actually copy, you know, you just pop open your spreadsheet, copy the email address column, click on copy and paste here and paste it into the box it provides. So it makes it easier to update or to edit your lists if it's, let's say, your past client list and you want to update it. You've got 25 new people you want to put on there. Boom, you can go in there and you can just copy and paste their names or email addresses into the box provided, and you're good to go. Very cool little slick little interesting thing I thought was a nice ad for editing your custom audiences. For your retarget ads using website custom audience, again, if you missed it, you're going to go through the steps. You're going to create an audience and a custom audience. Then you're going to select website traffic from the 3 options that you've got. If you're going to upload a list, do customer list, and then make sure that your upload is a CSV file of email addresses only. But for this website traffic is what you're going to select on the website custom audience. Then you're going to choose who this audience targets. And it can be anyone who visits your website, people who visit a specific page, people visiting specific web pages but not others, people who haven't visited a certain amount in a certain amount of time. You can do a custom combination, people who visit this web page but haven't visited in a certain amount of time. You can do all kinds of things with it. The 2 I specifically have been using is anyone who visited your website more for a branding thing to get people to see me over and over again, and people who visited a specific web page so that I can put my offer in front of them multiple times, because as we know in the sales cycle, it takes more than one time offering something to them to make that positive buying decision. It takes multiple times. So this gives me a chance to put my sales message in front of them multiple times. Now, if you're going to do it for a specific page, when you select that option, it pops open a new page for you to include the URL address that you want of the page that you want people to go to. Now, this is not a real URL address. I just put my reverse mortgage site, keeping with the reverse mortgage niche theme. So I would put in my reverse mortgage site that has my landing page and my information and all that stuff on there, or my sales page if I'm only want to retarget an ad to people who visited a specific web page. Again, by default, it's in the last 30 days. I always change that to 180 days. You never know how often somebody's going to need to see something to make that positive buying decision. And then you can also you name the audience here. You want to make sure you're giving it a good name, reverse mortgage page visitors. You want to be specific because you're going to have lots of different website custom audiences as you get better and better at it, especially if you're doing multiple niche marketing, or if you're doing one ad that's specifically towards consumers and another one that goes towards your realtor partners. The next step from here is create audience. Once you create audience, you're done, and then you need to get that pixel code to be able to put on your website to when people go there, it adds that cookie to their browser so they can see you. Now, if you have already put the pixel code on your website one time, it just needs to be on there one time, not on every page, on the main header page of your home page on your website. It just has to be in that one time, that one place. You do not need to do this every time when you're doing an ad to a, paulbaxtermortgage.com/reverse mortgages. That's already on there. If it's a brand new website that is specifically, that you built this whole website only for reverse mortgages, you will need to do this. And to get the pixel, all you've got to do is click select the audience that you've just created, click Actions, and then click View Pixel. That's going to pop open the pixel box where you can look at the pixel events, but it also gives you that pixel code. You simply copy that code and it gets placed into the header section of your website. Now, if you've got somebody doing your website for them, you simply provide them the code. If you're doing it on your own, I can either help you with that. A previous recording that we did walks you through that. If you're using WordPress or if you're using Weebly, if you're using Mortgage Web Success, send it over to Joe. He'll take care of it for you. He's really good about that sort of thing. And guys, as I said, this is a short class. I just wanted to make sure that you saw the changes that were made on Facebook in the ads just to recap in a real quick fashion, number one changes, first things that were changed, let me get to it, is the semantics of what they call when you click on create an ad, the first thing that pops up, all they've changed is the semantics, not the functionality. So if you want to get page likes, it's promote your page. See, it shows you the thumbprint. If you want to promote a page post, you're going to do boost your post. So you're going to get people to see your post. If you're going to get people to your website, send people to your website. That's going to get them to click to your website. That's the main thing, is the semantics here. The other thing that changed is the order in which you set up your ads now. The first thing they're asking you to do is determine who you're going to send this page-like ad to. Then you're going to determine how much money you're willing to spend on this ad, and then you're going to actually do the creative portion and create the actual ad copy itself, and then place the order. So they've changed the semantics of the ad names, ad types, and they've changed the order in which, making it much more streamlined and easier for you to really be specific in your message to your target audience. The other thing they changed is custom audience, and it's none of the functionality, only how you get to it. Only the layout and how you actually get to the things that you're looking for. Again, the main thing to remember is that nothing happens until you've selected the audience you want to work with. That's when your options become available to you. The actions is where most of the things that you're going to do, and then the other cool thing is they've made it easier to create an ad for your specific audience. And guys, girls, that literally is it. Have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. I don't know about you, but I fully anticipate to see a table set up just like this for me tomorrow. I'm actually super excited about it. I get to spend some real great quality time with my 2-year-old niece and some fantastic family time. So I'm really looking forward to pigging out on as much turkey as I possibly can, and then sleeping my way through the Detroit Lions game. Guys, girls, that's all I've got for you today. Are there any questions? As I mentioned as we started class, I knew it was going to be a short one, and I want to make sure you guys get a chance to take off a little bit early today and get out there and enjoy your weekend and your family time. But I also want to make sure that what we covered today is, I want to make sure that it's sunk in, that those changes are important for those of you who are doing ads. And I know that there's a couple of you on this call right now that our one-on-one conversations, our email exchanges, you're in the process of getting ready to create these ads already. I want to make sure that there's no questions you've got. That silence is absolutely speaking 1,000 words. I hope that means that, pretty simple stuff. I knew it wasn't groundbreaking or earth-shattering, but it's things that you needed to know were there and to be prepared for when you go to create your ads. Guys, girls, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was absolutely a pleasure. I know with a holiday week like this, you guys could have taken your time, done anything and taken off a little bit early. You chose to spend a little bit of time with me here today and learn and help grow your business. I appreciate that faith that you've shown me, and hopefully I bring you the value that you're looking for. Guys, girls, have a great and fun and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families, and as our good friend Alan Gross posted yesterday, don't forget to set your scales back 10 pounds. That's it. That's all for me, guys. Have a fantastic, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you right back here, same time, same place next week. On Monday, we'll get it kick-started again. Have a great day and a great weekend, everybody. See you later.